Alright, now to explain what a revolving door is. For those of you who still might be a little bit confused about what a revolving door is, it might be a good idea to look at a physical illustration of what a revolving door is. Looking at this picture here, we can sort of see, based off of the Sacramento Bee, a indicator of what's happening. To the right, we see sort of speakers, assemblymen, congressmen going in the legislature, and then we see them exiting as lobbyists, as political hacks, and as union lackeys. What typically ends up happening is that once congressmen or senators or officials reach their term limits, they very often return to the private sector as lobbyists. One example is Eric Cantor, who worked on Congressional Hill all the way as a House Majority Leader in office from 1992 to 2014. A month after Cantor's resignation, he was picked up by Moelis & Co. and became the vice chair of the company. Moelis & Co. is a private investment firm that heavily services corporations and governments, as well as negotiates mergers and acquisitions. Cantor wasn't picked up by accident. He was picked up based off his experience as a majority leader, and what they could take away from that is the intimate knowledge of the in and outs of the Capitol Hill. Another example that we can look at without necessarily picking on Eric is almost the entire first economic cabinet of Barack Obama. Timothy Geithner, the Treasury Secretary, started initially to work for Kissinger and Associates as a lobbyist, then turned to the U.S. Treasury, worked his way up to the Secretary-Treasurer, and once he left Capitol Hill, he then became a manager of a private equity firm. Robert Rubin was the vice chairman for Goldman Sachs from 1987 to 1990. He eventually became the economic director, then later became the Treasury, Secretary Treasury, and then finally served as Undersecretary to Timothy Geithner. So here we see how fluid the moving in and out of the public and private sector is often for many representatives.